Well, good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. New evacuations issued at this hour for a fire burning near Athol. If you live on Sagebrush Way, Old House Road, or Trails End Road, you need to evacuate right now. Selkirk Fire and Rescue reporting an evacuation center has been set up at the Real Life Ministries Church in Athol on Highway 54. Right now, fire crews are battling a vegetation fire in the area. Here's a picture sent to us. At last check, it was about 20 acres in size. Crews are hoping to knock it down before it gets any larger. We will keep you posted on updated details as they come in. Two of the largest wildfires burning in Washington right now have combined to create an even larger fire. Combined, the Crown Creek and Black Hawk Mountain fires have burned more than 14,000 acres in Stevens County. Level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations are in place right now. The fire is 10% contained. With the fire's explosive growth, the number of firefighters responding has also grown. Right now, more than 800 people and nearly 80 fire engines are on scene helping to fight the fire. Also growing in size is the rattlesnake fire burning on the Colville Confederated Tribes Reservation. Washington's Department of Natural Resources reporting that fire has now burned more than 17,000 acres, adding about 4,000 acres just overnight. Level 3 go now evacuations are in place near the fire. This fire is just 5% contained. All right, let's talk weather on this Monday with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagoon joining us from the Outdoor Weather Center with everything we need to know about this week's forecast. Jeremy?
Mark, it's already much cooler. Temperatures in the low 80s, 83 degrees is where we currently sit. And it comes with a mix of clouds and sun. Some of those clouds are starting to show signs that we have moisture in the atmosphere. That's kind of cool. Check out the dew point. 42 degrees puts us a lot wetter in terms of atmospheric moisture than where we sat last week. And that all comes thanks to a low sitting off the coast and southerly flow that has some of that Pacific moisture in it. We are seeing a few of those showers kind of pop up. Most of those staying off to the north. And when we look at those on the radar, watch how quickly some of these pop up and then just fizzle right back out. No storm is really lasting more than an hour unless it just parks and keeps dropping rain in the same spot. So if you're seeing rain, not much of a change. If you're not, don't expect much. We'll see a few scattered showers throughout the next couple of days. Tomorrow, most of them stay up in the mountains in the afternoon. We might see a couple of raindrops down low. Wednesday morning brings a chance. Wednesday afternoon brings a chance. But really, Thursday is our best chance of moisture. And with that, our high temperature will fall back into the 70s. Next couple of days, though, mid-80s with mix of clouds and sun and scattered showers.
Sounds good. Jeremy will check back in with you later in the show. And as the seasons begin to change along with the temperatures, we've got you covered. Get your forecast anytime, including in-depth breakdowns on what is driving the weather over on KREM 2 Plus. Just download our streaming app on your TV and watch for free. Within the last few hours, we have heard from lawmakers after learning there's a chance that infamous serial rapist Kevin Coe could be released from prison. KREM 2's Regan Gallo has the latest tonight. Regan?
Well, we've learned that the state has set a release hearing for Kevin Coe, known as Spokane's South Hill rapist. Today, I talked to Washington State Republican Senator Mark Schessler, who was speaking out saying crime-friendly bills passed by Democrats are making it easier for criminals like Kevin Coe to be released. The Department of Social and Health Services say Coe no longer meets criteria as a sexually violent predator. He could be released from prison within 24 hours after a release hearing, which is scheduled for October 2nd. Kevin Coe was sentenced to life plus 75 years after he was convicted of multiple rapes in Spokane in the early 1980s. The state says because of his age and health, Coe would be released to a care facility somewhere in either Pierce or King County. He would still be a registered sex offender. State Senator Mark Schessler told me over the phone he was alerted of Coe's possible release from an email he received from DSHS. The senator added he lived on Spokane South Hill at the time of Coe's crimes and says it's unbelievable the state would consider releasing him.
We need to be more vigilant of what goes on in Olympia in the means of public safety. And if we're not vigilant, things can happen that undermine public safety that never should.
Senator Schessler says he now wants to pass a law in 2026 to make it harder to release serial rapists. Currently, he is looking at what can be done constitutionally to create this new law. Now, I have reached out to Democratic Senator Marcus Riccelli, who represents Spokane, to get his perspective on the issue. He said in a statement, Kevin Coe is right where he belongs. The news of his potential release is incredibly concerning, especially for the victims and their families who are still dealing with the trauma from the horrible and pain and suffering he inflicted on innocent women in Spokane's community several decades ago. Senator Riccelli continued to say he will support policies that protect people from crimes like Coe's. Now, I read Senator Riccelli's statement to Senator Shesler. Shesler's response: he is hopeful Senator Riccelli would co-sponsor a bill with him to ensure serial rapists cannot be released as easily from prison. I'm reporting in the newsroom, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Regan, thank you very much. In other news tonight, the Trump administration is launching a Medicaid probe into Washington along with 5 other Democratic-led states. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is looking into whether these states illegally paid for medical care they should not have. The state is allowed to bill the federal government for medical emergencies and pregnancy care regardless of immigration status. However, according to documents obtained by the Associated Press, the agency claims Washington is improperly charging the government for prescription drugs and specialty care. All right, coming up tonight, President Trump announcing plans to issue new guidance on prayer in school and a new operation in the Windy City targeting undocumented immigrants. But first, activists are looking to change some Washington state laws again, including one to ban trans athletes from youth sports. Details after the break.